Mud Factor sponsor me. I got Works Connection, MMX Racing, No Toil, and that's about it. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, Scott. Let's take it away, boys.
All right, way to go, Scott. As we kick this one off, Hannah Hodges, the number 17, grabbing the whole shot in this one. She took him second place position finish in Moto number 1 behind Jordan Jarvis. Jarvis, the number 30 Kawasaki rider, took the Moto 1 win. Taylor Allred, the 34, taking a third place position. It was the number 50 of Viviana Contreras taking the 4th place spot. 5th place then the number 69 of Jamie Ostadillo from Gilbertsville, PA. Denton, Texas, home to Taylor Jones. Actually, Australia, home to Taylor Jones, the number 13, who took 7th place position or 6th place position. She is actually a GNCC WXC defending national champion. The 36 KTM Avery Berry from Washougal, Washington. The 28 of Katie Benson out of Greer, South Carolina. In 8th place, 9th place, Sophia Phelps, the 56. And rounding out the top 10 was Shelby Rowland out of Blaine, Tennessee. Katie Benson taking a win in the first Moto of the girls 9 to 13 or 9 to I guess that would have been 11 to 16 class that we were watching out there. We'll see how things fare for her here in the women's class as we kick things off. As we told you, the whole shot early lead going to Hannah Hodges out there, but we also know that those are not necessarily the most comfortable places to be riding. Oftentimes whenever that gate goes down and racing action gets underway, as we check in here near the end of lap number 1, we see that 34 machine of Taylor Allred has really put down some great lap time here in this first moto. She pulls ahead to the front of the pack. Taylor Allred going to lead lap number 1 as this race rolls through and wraps up the first lap. Jordan Jarvis in second. Taylor Jones, GNCC racer, in 3rd place position. Brooke Whipple in 4th. Brianna Sheltema is your 5th place ride. Sophia Phelps in 6th place. Avery Berry in 7th. Shelby Rowland in 8th. Suzanne Wilson in 9th. And Viviana Contreras is your number 10 ride. Then it's Mackenzie Mercado, Lena Randolph, Brinsley Diaz, Sissy Livingston, Carrie Wilson, Bryce Martinez, Jessica Jeffrey, Melissa Brock, also 19th place, Anissa Ingersoll and Alicia Goggle rounds out your top 20 in the women's class.
Yeah, I tell you what, picking up right where we left off in the first moto, and I got to tell you, Rodney, look at the intensity level coming through those 10 commandments right now. We have got a battle on our hands. Allred right now feeling the heat. Looks like Jarvis able to make a move right there. Allred trying to answer back right now on that number 34 machine. Jarvis using that inside line coming through the back now. They're working their way back through the waterworks. Coming into that big tabletop. You can see through that tree turn, Jarvis starting to turn it up just a bit right there. Taylor Jones still riding in that 3rd position on that number 13 Husqvarna. And here come the ladies, Rodney, around that Yamaha mountain right there. Back into sight here into the infield. And here come the ladies. We've got a race on our hands. That number 30 Kawasaki out there just ahead of that 34 KTM. Jarvis leading Allred as they work their way down into the beach. Starting to get some rollers in that thing right now. Starting to get really rough. And you can see that Allred and Jarvis starting to pull away just a little bit from Taylor Jones. Taylor Jones on that number 13 Husqvarna working her way through. And it's still the number 19 of Brooke Whipple. Brooke able to hang on to that number 4 spot as they work their way in on lap number 2. But I tell you, right now, Rodney, the race is between Brianna and Sophia right now. The number 56, Sophia Phelps, Brianna Schendelmeyer in that number on that number 63 machine. And I believe the pass...
both 125 and
I think the pass might have just been made over the Tunnel of Love right there, but this time around, Jordan Jarvis having about 1.019 lead over Taylor Allred. Taylor Jones back just about 6.5 seconds. Brooke Whipple back 5. Rolling through our women's class right now. This is race number 13, our women's class. Race 14 down on the line. That's our 125 BC 12 to 17. 125 CC 12 to 17 BC on the line. Max Boland taking the win in that one. Gage Linville with a 2nd place, and Larry Reyes Jr. with a 3rd place finish in that 125 12 to 17 BC. But right now, out on the track, the action hot and heavy in our race number 13, our women's class. Taking a quick look last time around, Jordan Jarvis out front again with that win in Moto number 1. Hannah Hodges taking the second position in that first Moto. Hannah back in that number 12 position right now, has some work to do. Taylor Allred, who rides in second, now third in that first Moto, putting her in great contention right now for the overall. And Viviana Contreras in that number 9 position now, finished up with a 4th place finish in the first Moto. So all of these ladies still sitting in good position here in Moto number 2. 3 motos to go, and 1 more Moto to go, 3 motos total. But as we look into Moto number 2, Jordan Jarvis sitting at a potential 1-1. And who is that? Is that the number? Who is that just went down right there? I believe that might have been, Brianna, Schettlemeyer, the number 63, catching that rut right there. And holy cow, you can see one small mistake turns into a big mistake here at Loretta Lynn's. Just on the ground, about 3, maybe 4 seconds total, and the pack is gone right now. So a little bad luck for Brianna right there. Just overrode that berm a bit and ends up in the dirt. Another close race as they're working their way down into the finish line area right now. Riders still running side by side. Jordan Jarvis this time 3.4 over Taylor Allred. Taylor Jones back just about 9 seconds at this point. Brooke Whipple 9.3 back. Avery Berry in that number 5 spot, 2.5 back. Sophia Phelps now in that number 6 ride. Shelby Rowland moves herself into the 7th position. Viviana Contreras in the number 8 spot. Hannah Hodges in 9th, and Brianna now comes through in the number 10 ride. So Brianna giving up 6 or 7 positions with just a very small tip over in that tree turn back there. Leaders over in the short chute right now, headed into the 10 Commandments. Trying to find that number 30 machine right now. Jarvis already threw back into Storyland back there. Should be working her way back into view here any moment. Allred, as we said, about 3.4 seconds back. Going to take a look all the way through our top 20 here with our Oakley top 20 report. Jordan Jarvis with the lead, of course. Taylor Allred in the number 2 ride. Taylor Jones in the number 3 position with Brooke Whipple riding in 4th. Avery Berry in that number 5 ride. Sophia Phillips in the number 6 position with Shelby Rowland riding in 7th. Viviana Contreras has the 8th ride. Hannah Hodges holds the number 9 position with Brianna Schettlemeyer rounding out the top 10. Katie Benson in the 11th spot. Jamie Ostadio rides in 12th. Brinsley Dias in the number 13 spot. Carrie Wilson in 14th. Bryce Martinez in 15th. Brittany Gagney in that number 16 ride. Sissy Livingston in 17th. Jessica Jeffrey holds down 18th, and 19th goes to Landry Hazing. And rounding out the top 20, it is Alicia Gogol. And that is your Oakley top 20 rundown.
Well, I tell you, watching this one, Jordan Jarvis out front, no doubt she was going to be one to watch out for. The surprise here, Hannah Hodges, I realize she's got those issues, got those problems, trying to work her way up from 9th place position right now after 4 laps of racing complete. But then again, you got the 3rd place ride right now is the surprise. And I know being from the world of off-road racing, and I tout this and blow this horn a lot, being from GNCC, but Taylor Jones, WXC, national champion. She's been that, this is her 3rd, I think it's her 3rd number 1 place she's defending here, if I'm not mistaken, hailing out of Australia. Talking with Taylor, actually, she began her career in motocross. Woods came a little later on in her racing career. That was one of the things that, she pointed out. She said, when I first started out, I was actually racing the motocross. And you know how so
I thought Grant Langston was here.
Yeah. Where's the accent?
Today's keys to the race: get a good start. Really?
But regardless,
really? Get a good start.
She's fast on a motorcycle. Grant. She does a lot of training. She's a Rockstar Energy Husqvarna factory rider. So she's no schmo. There's no doubt about that. So she comes out here to the women's the women's motocross racing here, and she fares quite well. As we said, Moto number 1, she took a 6th place position finish. But the thing that we got to realize is that but she was running a little stronger than that earlier in the race, and we'll see. Will she be able to maintain third? Will we see Hannah Hodges work her way up through the pack? As we said, up to 9th place now, or down back to 9th place, I guess I should say, trying to regain some spots out there and put herself back in position. So Jarvis working after 5 with a 6.4 second lead over Taylor Allred. And, you know, Taylor, another rider, I'm not going to say has surprised me, but is impressing me with the progression. I mean, the solidness, the consistency that we're seeing out of her. I've always been impressed with Taylor Allred's abilities and the way she rides the bike. But what I'm impressed with right now is the consistency at which she's riding her motorcycle.
Yeah, I like the way you said the progress, Rodney, and that's exactly what it is. If you watch Taylor the last few years, she's certainly been around. She's certainly had good performances, showed flashes of speed, consistency, and I tell you, very happy to see her up there and watching her grow as a rider and increase the speed. Been a lot of fun.
It most certainly has. As we work on lap 5, that should put us just past the halfway point. Taylor going down. Tough break there for Taylor Jones. I'm not sure. She was 13 seconds behind Taylor Allred. That's Taylor Jones we're talking about. She had a 14-second gap over Avery Berry, but if she don't get back up to speed and momentum very quick, Avery Berry is going to capitalize on that and take the pass. Here comes, there she is.
Just tucked that front end, Rodney. Did she go down in Moto 1? I believe she did. Did she?
May have.
Yeah, I believe
because she was running a top 5, maybe top podium position early on in that first Moto. But she quickly remounts, get back on it, and off and rolling she goes. We'll get a little better, I think, situation breakdown on that one as to, I don't think she lost 14 seconds.
I don't think so.
I think she's still maintaining that third place position, but, you know, it's still a momentum buster. It's a heartbreaker, and you say, whoa, she's getting tired. It's getting late in the Moto. We're 7 minutes and 50 seconds, almost 8 minutes into. No, she's used to racing 2+ hours at an intensity level that is probably a little more than what she's riding at right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think Avery Berry just got her right there, to be honest with you. She's going to try to get herself back up to speed. Got to hit that reset button. But let me tell you something. Don't kid yourself. She's tough. Yeah. That fall over, I'm glad she landed on her side, not necessarily her shoulder or maybe her arm, you know, but still, she didn't hit the ground easy. She had to pick that bike back up, had to hit the reset button. But do not kid yourself. Taylor Jones is tough as any woman out there.
You know, in South Carolina at the Camp Coker GNCC this year, her and fellow Australian Mackenzie Tricker, who is a former motocross racer herself, were in a high-speed crash. These girls running down a fire road, they said, and I don't even want to even guess the speeds at which they were going. All I know is that both girls, when they were done after that crash, said that's the fastest I've ever ridden, the fastest and the hardest crash I've ever had in my life. Mackenzie Tricker, talking with her after, was literally shaking like a leaf. Of course, she got banged up pretty hard after that too.
Well, I'll give you a hint. If it's the fastest either one of them ever ridden, it was in 5th gear.
They were pegged.
On a fire road, it was 5th gear, and you and I don't even want to go that fast.
They were tapped. There's no doubt about that.
There he is.
Rolling through this second Moto. Jarvis still winning. Allred still in second. Taylor Jones at last check and still in the number 3 spot. She is now 27 seconds behind Taylor Allred. Avery Berry 2.3 seconds behind her. This is where the race might be, and this might be where we see the pass being made, and that momentum, like we said, broke down for Taylor Jones. So unfortunately for her, she may end up finding herself in a maybe not a podium position this time around. Time's going to tell. Nick Way, buddy, good to see you, man. It's been a while.
Number 27 in your program, number 1 in your heart.
No doubt about that. And hey,
show us the way.
I mean, I don't know. I'm trying.
It's good to see that you got the family out. You're back here on a whole different level and a whole different capacity. Well, a couple different capacities, actually, man.
Yeah, I'm here having you try to teach your kid to have a good time riding a PW50, and then we escalate to here.
Warning, Jason. Warning.
So
you're here in another capacity also, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I'm here. I help answer racing with a lot of ambassador work, and I obviously work with a lot of the families that my sons ride with, keep them sorted, and kind of progress the product line they have there. But yeah, I'm also a partner in Arma, which we make sports supplements, which the first time I ever got introduced to electrolyte drinks and supplements was down here at the ranch, like mid-'80s when I was on a 50.
Right.
Because, you know, for everybody, it's important to keep your kids safe. So you want to make sure they have the nutrition they need and electrolytes to make sure that they can push to the end.
And how much that advanced everything back then, and the science of the diet that has been figured out as far as training and you know, the efforts that you put out. I mean, it's a science, and you guys are pretty much on the cutting edge of perfecting something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working with, I work really closely with Adam Cianciarillo and Cameron McAdoo, and they use the products exclusively, the Arma products. It's not necessarily pigeonholed as a pre-workout, an electrolyte, and a protein. They're kind of complexes, just from years of experience, and our entire team's well-versed in the category, obviously. So yeah, they are cutting-edge technology as far as the ingredients we're using. It's all certified by Informed Sports, so nothing in there is going to be out of compliance with any of the rules we're here, well, let alone NFL, NHL, so things like that. So we're definitely crossing our T's and dotting our I's on the product line, and we're proud of it.
Can you imagine what the meetings look like in there? These dudes are all badass. You go Way, McGrath, Cianciarillo. I mean, what are these meetings like, dude? All bad dudes in there. You can't say that about Coca-Cola. You can't say that about any other, you know. Here you got Arma. All these dudes, past successful champions, winners, and all one goal, one focus.
Well, and I think it's not only about the idea of selling a training supplement or anything like that. What it is, I mean, it's about the betterment of being able to do it better. I mean, you can say, yeah, it's a good money-making opportunity, but what you're doing is you're affording a great luxury to the new generations and the folks that are out there, giving them tools to utilize that will not only help their performance, but actually make them feel better.
Well, yeah, exactly. From an athlete to anybody, it's generally going to help with how they feel, and especially how you perform out here with the conditions being so tough. But yeah, not only the product are we extending, it's kind of the knowledge that we have as the team, obviously the motocross portion, but we also have some folks that are well versed in all elite athletics. So we're kind of, you know, like I said, they're complexes. So there's a bunch of ingredients in there that you would need for sustained energy throughout the day, not just pigeonholed to specific products. So it's kind of Blitz is combined with a bunch of ingredients that will help you with sustained energy throughout the day, not just electrolytes.
And on a side note, I don't mind the taste of any of it. A lot of times, man, you just have a bitter aftertaste, or you don't want that supplement because it's a supplement and it tastes like one. But you guys have put a lot of time into making it, I don't want to say taste great, but more enjoyable, easier to swallow,
well, yeah,
no bitter taste,
yeah,
you know.
Exactly. You don't want to, you know, especially out here, you have a lot of young kids that need to get some calories in, and you know, like it's important for them because they're not necessarily, you know, some kids running around with corn dogs, whatever.
Right.
Everybody, you know, the kids want to make sure that they
With these
have
riding boots on, these bibs.
Yeah, exactly. So it's easy to remix our reload with some frozen fruit and get them a smoothie with all the nutrients they need, maybe an hour before the race, and then, you know, I think the parents can feel good about that.
Awesome. Hey, who's Arma really helping out this week? Who we got our eyes on?
Well, we give products. We have support through a lot of kids, but yeah, Vincent, obviously, my son's obviously using the full line. Yep. Casey Cochran. We give stuff to DeFrancisco, this Talent, Hawkins.
Nice.
So yeah, there's quite a few kids that are using the product for sure. But I mean, I think most everybody kind of just seeks out what's best and isn't necessarily trying to promote it per se. But I mean, again, it's the Ferrari of the category.
Well, hey, absolutely. Casey Cochran coming from outside the top 10 a couple times, putting himself up in like 5th to 6th place coming out of Claremont, Florida. And that guy absolutely on fire, determined, and obviously a little bit of the credit there goes to Arma, keeping that guy hydrated and also allowing him to recover properly.
Well, certainly we do what we can to help, but I mean, we don't want to take too much.
No. But I'm sure it's a big part of his program. So right now, Nick, this one's coming to a close. I believe the white flag is out waiting on that checker flag, or waiting on the checker flag right now. So white flag continues to fly on this one. Rodney's down at the podium, going to take us through those interviews in a minute. But Jordan Jarvis doing what she does, Nick. About 16 seconds out last time around. Can't say enough about Taylor Allred and her progression over the last couple seasons. Really picking up the speed, but her racecraft and strategy and just the way she handles everything just really starting to mature a lot. Taylor Jones going down, losing that front end. Still had about a 14-second gap back over Sophia Phelps, able to get back up, not lose any positions. And Taylor, coming from the off-road world, started as a motocrosser, going to put in a great ride here and hopefully finish up with a 3rd place in Moto number 2 here.
Yeah, Taylor Allred's definitely progressed a bunch. I think last year we saw her on a mini bike, right?
Yeah.
So this is her first year on a big bike. Obviously, Jarvis is very decorated racer. She's obviously out there putting on a clinic a bit now, but the other girls are progressing, and hopefully in the near future here they'll be able to give her a run.
Yeah, and the number 17, Hannah Hodges, having some issues this and that, but bringing herself back up into that number 5 position as it sets. And right now, I believe the white flag still continues to fly. Looking for our leaders. Where's she at? Where is that number 30 machine? Next, that her coming around there? Yep, there she comes in the Bermuda Triangle, that final corner down there.
Putting on a clinic.
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Got a great start, Jordan did, and able to take advantage of that, having that clean air and clean track ahead of her. As you can see, opening up a distance of about 16 seconds by the time this one was over with, and a big advantage. As we've seen, traditionally, the whole shot hasn't guaranteed anything so far this week other than you were first one to that stripe. Traditionally, the whole shot has not had a great finish on the average through these motos. So right now, a good start for Jordan Jarvis. She put that to good use. Taylor Allred, as we said, amazing performance by that young lady, running 204s, 202s, staying very consistent with hers, our lap times as well. And again, Taylor Jones having a small tip over out there, able to pick that bike up without losing position and roll through our first 3 ladies. Now Sophia Phelps checking in the 4th position, but Jarvis, Allred, and Jones really putting it together out there in Moto 2. Hannah Hodges again able to bring that thing in to a 5th place finish. Avery Berry back into the number 6 spot. Katie Benson in 7th. Vivian Contreras in the number 8 ride as the checker flag continues to fly.
Well, Megawatt down here at the podium as we get set to congratulate our Moto 2 winner here today. Getting herself cooled off and cleaned up, a quick swig of water. And as the crowd goes wild, put your hands together for Moto 2 winner Jordan Jarvis, ladies and gentlemen. Way to go, JJ, the crowd says down here. And trying to get that monster hat on. She is a Monster Army athlete. If you can't tell, she's got that big monster helmet, drinking that monster. And she unleashed the beast today. Wow, good ride out there. Take us through this 2nd moto and how you were able to score gold today.
Yeah, I didn't come off the start the best, but that was definitely my fault. It's not the bike. The SUV team's got my bike going great. I actually came around the 2nd corner, and there's a good pileup, and I actually ran over a couple bikes, so I was really close to being in it. But after that, I kind of chased Taylor around for about a lap, I think it was, and she made a small mistake, and I was close enough to pounce on it. And I just went out there, and I tried to be smart. There's a lot of girls out there, and they were all charging hard, and I was trying not to get in their way, and they were trying not to get in mine.
I'll tell you what, I know Moto 1, there's always a lot of first Moto jitters and everything. The 2nd Moto, I'm sure there was a lot of anxiety as well, but I'm sure there's kind of a big sigh of relief after taking this Moto win.
Yeah, definitely. I had a rough year last year. I think I went 2-2-1, and I was so close to getting the championship, but stuff just didn't happen in my favor. So to come out here and go 1-1 is a huge relief, and I'm ready for the 3rd Moto.
Who do you want to say thanks to for putting you in this position?
My mom, my dad. My mom's at home watching on TV right now. She can't make it here. SUB, Blood, Kawasaki, Maxxis, Babbitt, Risk, Calbranch, NCMP, County Line, Recluse, Monster, Atlas, Scott, Pro Moto Billet, everybody else. Thank you guys so much. I couldn't have done this without you.
There she is, JJ, Jordan Jarvis, taking Moto 2 win and looking to be in control of a possible championship here as he wraps up Moto 2 of 3 here at Loretta Lynn. We move down to our 2nd place finisher now, talking about Taylor Allred. Taylor underneath the canopy there, grabbing herself a nice cold drink, trying to soak in some of that shade, and rightfully so, as this day is really starting to warm up, heat up, not only on the racetrack racing-wise, but also temperature-wise. But again, you know, a very comfortable Loretta Lynn's as far as weather and conditions are concerned. But it is August, it is Tennessee, it is summertime, so it is certainly a task and a chore here in the dog days of summer. Taylor Allred, congratulations to you on second place position. Great battles you had going on out there. Take us through the moto.
Yeah, I got off to a decent start, and then I think by like the third turn I was in the lead, led for a lap, and felt Jordan's pressure. She got around me, and I tried to stay as close as I could, but it was a fun race.
Awesome. Who do you want to say thanks to?
The whole KTM Orange Gray crew, my mom, my dad, Fly, Dunlop, Scott, Monster Army, FMF, Pro Taper, Ethica, Hope, and Nate, and anyone else I forgot. Thank you.
All righty, how about it there for Taylor Allred, ladies and gentlemen, taking second place and positioning herself strongly in the national championship as well. And we get set for our third place position finisher. I believe that was our 13 of Taylor Jones from the world of GNCC racing, a Rockstar Energy Husqvarna rider. Well, here it is, folks. As we clear the starting line, we get a chance to say this one more time. How about it? Our second GNCC racer in a row on the podium. Jimmy Jarrett there just a few moments ago. And now how about it for Taylor Jones, your WXC national champion here in the moto world. You know, I was telling these guys upstairs, I said, Taylor told me, she said, you know, moto's not necessarily something obscure to you. You've actually done a little bit of it growing up, huh?
Yeah, I actually grew up racing moto up until I was about 16, and I swapped over to the off-road scene, but I'm so pumped to be back right now. It's been a long time and I missed it, so I'm stoked to just get out there and have fun on one of the best tracks in the country, and I'm up here, so couldn't ask for anything more.
That's true. Take us through it. How did it happen today?
Yeah, I had a 6 start. I think I was like second or third off the start, which was awesome. Hannah actually went down, so I got in the lead for like a second, and I was like, woo. But I know the other 2 girls gapped me a fair bit. I got a bunch of arm pump. It's a little bit different to a GNCC track, but I ended up missing all the obstacles today. I didn't run into anything, so pumped about that. No trees to hit. But I rode a fairly comfortable race, had 1 crash, but I picked it back up, and we're up here in the box.
There you go. Who do you want to say thanks to for helping get you here?
A huge shout out to the whole Rockstar Husqvarna team. I couldn't do it without them. The Moose Racing, Parts Unlimited, they helped me out a bunch, let me pit with them. Zach from Underground MX, I've been coaching down there for a fair bit, which has helped a bunch. I wouldn't be here without him. But, all of my sponsors, Alpine Star, Dunlop, Oakley, HPD Moto Graphics, and I got so many in my corner. I want a big thank you to my coach and girlfriend, Ali. She makes me train my heart out, and I can last 20 minutes, so we're good.
There you go. Congratulations. How about it? Taylor Jones, ladies and gentlemen, taking third here at Loretta Lynn's in this women's class, and I believe that we've got a whole shot award winner too. Hannah Hodges grabbing the early lead in that one and then finding her struggles through the remainder of the moto. I know that's always a tough pill to swallow, but it's always nice to know that you can get off to the good starts too. So put your hands together. Hannah Hodges, ladies and gentlemen, our STACYC Stability Cycle Whole Shot Award winner. Well, you got started off all right.
Yeah, the start was good, the rest not so much.
So you spent basically the biggest part of that moto trying to make up some ground. Where did you end up there?
I think I got 4th or 5th.
Wow, that was impressive. Last time I checked, yeah, it was about 9th or 10th with a couple of laps left to go. So good effort, good charge, good heart. That was amazing. Take us through that one.
Yeah, I mean, the start was awesome, and then I just tucked the front in the second corner, and I was literally dead last, so I just had to make up some ground from there. It was tough, especially there's a lot of lappers in this class too, so it's not only just passing who you're racing, you have to make smart choices with lappers and not gonna be on the ground.
Who do you want to say thanks to?
Lord Jesus Christ, keep me safe, my mom and dad, my mechanic Jake, Troy Designs, Alpine Star, Scott, Dunlop, Power Band, TLR, and anyone else I forgot, thank you.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Hannah Hodges, your state